So at the driver's meeting, he's like, guys, do not hit the jump over 55. Your car's going to flip and you will probably die. He's like, I've hit it at 60. I did a nose wheelie. If you go faster, you will flip and you will probably not survive. Welcome to the Sent and Bent podcast. This is episode 55. And I just got back from Florida and racing cars, which was amazing. So we'll talk about that and catch up on whatever happened for everybody else while I was gone.
And right behind you guys, we have our first ever real race car project.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what class of race it'll ever be able to compete in, but it's definitely our first supercar project, so there's that.
One of my friends messaged me and they were like, the grind hard era of supercar has started, but I don't actually know the breakdown. Where does it go from a sports car to a supercar to a hypercar? What's the difference?
I think it's probably largely like speed and horsepower rated, but I'm just going to say that pretty much any Ferrari counts just based on price tag.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it doesn't, but we'll just say that because,
yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It may not be a supercar, but it is an exotic for certain. So our exotic car era has begun. It's definitely not a hypercar, that's for certain. But when it's done, it's going to be a supercar. That's also for certain.
Okay, good.
It may not have started life as a supercar, but it will be when we're done with it.
Well, now that we've officially started this, the Ferrari memes just hit a little different. And I always get Fast and Furious and Need for Speed mixed up. Which one's the movie?
Fast and the Furious. Need for Speed is the video game.
Got it. I did both a lot. So.
Yes. That sounds like you're talking about something illicit.
Well, in the movie, there's this scene where Paul Walker's driving and
that's in the first one, too.
Yeah, the first one.
Yep.
And the F355 Spider, our exact
and
car.
Black, too.
Pulls up right next to them. And it was the most premium meme because they're like, want to race, whatever. And it's like, this is a Ferrari. You can't afford it.
I know the actual quote, Edwin. So the guy rolls up. They roll up together at a stoplight. And Paul Walker looks over at him and goes, hey, that's a nice car, man. How much did it cost? And the guy goes, more than you can afford. And then anyway.
Yeah.
More than you can afford, buddy, or something like that.
So the meme showed a mint condition Mark IV Supra versus the current cost of that car, and the Supra's worth
way more expensive, yeah.
And it's like, look who's right now, buddy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so I just had to get that one off my chest, but how was Florida?
Yeah. Well, Florida as a state and a location geographically, not trying to offend anybody that lives there, but it is really not for me. So Florida, we'll just skip right over that. But the whole experience was outstanding. Aside from getting there, my flight was the dumbest way you could ever miss a flight. So everybody was having flights canceled and stuff over the last few months due to the, government shutdown, all that, right? Mm-hmm. So I was expecting some shenanigans on the way there, but I didn't have any of them due to that. We landed in Seattle, which was annoying in the first place because that's 350 miles entirely the wrong direction, but whatever.
That's crazy.
It was the best flight I could get. It was the shortest flight I could get, ironically, because it was only one layover in Seattle.
Yeah. Well, before we booked this ticket, we just read an article that said that 10% of all major airports, of all major airports in the States, 10% of their flights are canceled.
Right.
And the first 5 choices for your best flights were all canceled.
Yes. Yeah. So I was expecting that.
Yeah.
What I was not ready for, and what was the most irritating airport situation I have ever experienced. We landed early in Seattle, 5 minutes early. I had an hour to get to my other flight, and I could see it from where I was sitting in my seat. I could see the terminal that I needed to get to, right over there. And I had a full hour to get off the plane and get to my other flight. We sat on the tarmac for an hour, and I missed my flight. Because they had used the jet bridge on a different plane, and it wouldn't hook up right to this one. I was like, just open the door and I'll jump. I saw it. It's not like they couldn't get the jet bridge close to it. It was right there, right up against it, but it wouldn't attach properly, so they couldn't let anybody out.
Ethan was texting me all of this, and I was like, well, this isn't really like sound advice, but you could always just say you're having heart trouble and they'll get you right off that plane. Oh, I'm better now. Yeah.
But yeah, it was so infuriating. So we sat there for like 25 minutes and they're like probably 15 of that, they didn't give us any update. We're just sitting there. And then the captain finally comes on and he's like, so we're having some trouble with this. I'm not really sure what's going on, but it's going to be a couple minutes. They're going to have somebody come and look at it. And then, a few minutes goes by and he's like, oh yeah, it's probably going to be a little longer. I can see that it's not working, whatever, just that kind of stuff. And then he's like, oh, well, it looks like that's not going to work. We're going to have to push back and go to another terminal. And so we do, and that takes forever. And then we get to the other terminal, and I'm looking at my watch, and I'm like, okay, I know exactly when the boarding door closes on my other flight because I can find that on the app. I'm like, I could still make it. We're at the terminal. We're pulling in. And then we just stop for 10 minutes and just sit there waiting to pull into our terminal.
Great.
We're still like, I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm like, all right, whatever. I've missed the flight, so what? But the thing is, it just kept inching along at just enough for me to have a little bit of hope. So we finally get in there, and I actually get up, and I'm standing up and walking off the plane at the exact minute my other flight's supposed to close the door. And I'm like 20-something terminals away from it, or 20 gates away from it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, maybe not 20. It was like 12, something like that. Anyway, I'm like, all right, well, there's a chance that they got held up. I might as well try. So I just get off the plane and most people, when you run through the airport, it's like this stress shuffle. You're not really quite running. No, I was sprinting. Just booked it all the way over there. I get there 4 minutes after the time when the door closes, and they're like, nope.
Oh, man.
She's like, oh, they just closed it too. I'm like, well,
what you gonna do?
I know no amount of arguing is going to change that.
Just be in an airport all day.
Obviously, that was the least exciting part of my trip, so we can move on. But the bottom line is I got into Tampa at midnight instead of 8 p.m., which was annoying. And then I went to go get my rental car, which we'd already reserved ahead of time. And I couldn't do that because my driver's license is old and worn out, and it wouldn't scan on their machine, and there's nothing else they can do. There's no option to take a picture of it, type in the number, nothing. They're just like, sorry, you're screwed. So I was like, so what? I'm just supposed to walk? And the guy's like, I don't know, I can't do anything. So I walk away all annoyed, and I'm like, I'm getting ready to call my wife just to have somebody to complain to. And then as I'm walking away, he's like, hey, sir, you might try one of the other rental car places. They don't necessarily have the same computer. I'm like, all right, thanks. So I walk over there just to the first one that has a person standing at it, and they didn't care at all. They just took a picture of my driver's license, and we moved on, and I got a different rental car. And then I got to my hotel at this point, 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And the door was locked because it's 2 a.m. So I'm like, okay, this is good. They have a little intercom thing or a phone thing. So I dial the thing, and the lady's like, yeah, can I help you? I was like, yeah, I'd like to check into a hotel room. Anyway, so I go in there, and I'm talking to her, and I was like, yeah, I have a reservation, whatever. And she starts looking it up. She's like, oh, you didn't check in on time, so it just got deleted. She's like, it just does automatically. The computer's just like, well, you're not here. Bye. So she's like, well, luckily I don't know, she found enough. She's like, oh, well, there's one room left. I'm like, thank God.
So you weren't off to the best of starts.
No, it wasn't great. But I did finally get into bed at 2:30 in the morning. And yeah. Anyway, so that was all the dumb parts of my trip. But yeah, the racing was awesome. So I was racing with Jim York, who is part of Travis Pastrana's crew. He does a lot of stunts with Travis. They just got done doing the I forget what it's called, but the speedboat races, not the hydroplane ones, but the really long skinny ones. Cigarette boats, whatever. There's a term for the actual class of racing. I don't remember what it's called, but they just 2 days before or a week before or whatever, they were down in Pensacola doing that. And he showed me some videos from how rowdy that got. So that's another really interesting thing that I had no idea about those boats.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 people driving the boat, right? It's a team.
Oh, you're both driving?
You're both driving. One person steers and the other throttles.
Oh!
In a boat that goes 100 miles an hour across choppy water.
Oh! Wait, is there a reason that they have?
I don't know.
Or is that just part of it?
Just make it
I
harder?
didn't ask why, but that's the way that it is.
Wow.
So if you're throttle man, so Travis is running the throttle.
Oh, that's
It's
terrifying.
right. And Jim York was steering. He has a shot of their boat like 10 feet off the water, completely sideways. Like you could just read all the sponsors on the roof. Not
Wow.
like a little bit, just like fully like this.
And I bet Travis's foot is still in it.
Probably. Well, he said that he said that one was his fault. He said that they had one that was each of their fault in it, like the steering. He messed up on steering and caused them to go like this. But there's another shot where they're almost fully vertical like this, and that was Travis's fault. So the throttle guy, he controls throttle and ballast, and there's a way to like shift the ballast from the front to the rear of the boat. So if it goes up in the air like this, they can like. I don't know how that works at all.
That's sick.
But they can like balance it out, and Travis failed on that, and so they're just like flying through the air vertically. Anyway,
Wheelies.
yeah, basically in a 100-mile-an-hour jet speedboat with like I don't know a couple thousand horsepower. Anyway, so yeah, I had never met Jim before. We talked on the phone like once or twice before I went out there. He invited me. He invited me to be his co-driver for the 2.4 hours of Le Mullets, which, if anyone by chance doesn't know, that's one of Cleetus's events that he puts on at his track in Bradenton. And it's different than all of his other races in that you have, again, 2 drivers per car, per team. And one driver does the first half of the race, and then you switch drivers, and the other driver drives the second half. And it's not a lap-based race, it's a time-based. So you have 45 minutes in the first half, 45 minutes in the second half. So it doesn't matter how many laps you do. Whoever wins, you know. And however long, there's cautions and stuff added. The cautions, they keep rolling the clock unless it's like a really long one, and then they'll like. Anyway, so that's the race I was going to do. So I had texted Jim when I was on my way in the night before to let him know I was going to be in super late and whatever. And I was like, hey, you want to meet up for breakfast? So I figured it might be convenient to meet my co-driver before racing, because he was like, "Oh, drivers' meetings at 2 p.m. You can just or 3 p.m. Just get to the track at 2." And I was like, "Well, you want to meet for breakfast first? I don't have anything else to do." So anyway, we did that, and that was cool. And then we went straight to the track where Travis and his crew was filming a video with another YouTuber called Ross Smith, who has a grandmother who's 99 years old, and she's known as Gangster Granny, and she does all sorts of stuff that you wouldn't expect for a 99-year-old woman. So I don't know when that video comes out, and I don't want to like give away too much details, but basically she's never driven a car, and they had Travis teach her how to drive a car. There's a lot more to it than that, but I was just there in the background hanging out, which was cool. I got to meet a bunch of Travis's crew. Well, during that, that was when I met Street Bike Tommy,
a legend, man.
Way more of a legend than you would ever know from watching like the Nitro Circus videos
really?
and stuff.
Because I already hold him at like the highest pedestal humanly possible.
Right.
Like even more so than like
the
famous like skateboarders when I was a kid.
Right. And that's the thing. He is that level of legend. But what makes him more of a legend is that, like, you know, the thing about don't meet your heroes, like, he's way cooler and like he's super chill in person. Like,
cool.
Not, you know, I mean, a lot of famous people are like just busy being famous. Like, and he was just
still
super
doing
chill.
stunts? How old is he?
I don't know how old he is. I don't think he's doing much in the way of stunts. He's still part of Travis's channel.
Oh, okay.
And like, for example, they brought so you know the last Freedom 500, Cleetus's race, Travis won, and he won the C8 Corvette Z06.
Oh, they spray painted it. Yeah.
So turns out he actually sold that one and then bought a totaled one to mess with, but spray painted it exactly the same. So like it was a salvage title because it was way cheaper. So
fair
or
enough.
something like that. But anyway, they spray painted that one the same like red, white, and blue spray paint, and they jumped it like 120 feet or something like that. But that same Corvette, they drove it down from Maryland, and Street Bike Tommy drove it. So they were going to do burnouts with it, but they decided not to because it was just like, it was so hard to make that thing do burnouts. Just because it's a mid-engine supercar, it's like
and it doesn't have a real clutch, right? You need to like hold in the little stick.
So they were like, they're like, we could do a burnout, but it's not driving home. And Tommy was like, thank God, because I have to drive that home. That's my ride home. So,
I saw Amelia do a video on that when they first came out.
Yeah,
and she was like, all right, it's like burnout mode, and then you hold in both paddle shifters and floor it, and then it kind of like goes, and then it gives up.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh.
So Travis showed up to the filming with the Gangster Granny thing. He shows up in that, towing a camp trailer. And not just a camp trailer. I mean, it was like an off-road one. Like the tires on the camp trailer were like twice the size of the ones on the Corvette.
Oh, that's
and
hilarious.
he pulls up and he's just like, everybody's filming, so obviously it's like a little extra hype for that. But he pulls up and he's like, "You boys like freedom?" And then he tries to do a burnout and just plows across the parking lot because he's got a trailer on the back, so it's like an extra 500 pounds on the back of this thing.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was hilarious. So yeah, that was super cool. The coolest part about that day, or the first half of the day, because it was all the same as race day, was getting to see the Brat. It's not the one that they just made for the new Gymkhana film, but it's the one that they used for one a few years ago. Do you remember seeing that one?
Oh yeah,
the white
with the gold
one?
Wheels.
Yeah, gold wheels, and it was painted like a cop car at one point, and they used it as a fake cop car.
But they made it a lot wider.
It's I actually don't know what generation, but it's a Corvette with a Brat body on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, engine, everything's Corvette. It's probably shortened a little bit, but have you know the like Nitro Circus, Travis Pastrana people a lot more than I do. Do you know who Stripper Josh is?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I wasn't like up on it enough to know who Stripper Josh was beforehand, but he actually built that car in his garage. He built that Brat.
Oh really?
Stripper Josh did. Yeah.
That's sick.
Like he had a little bit of help, but it was pretty much just him.
Well, you don't need to feel bad because the announcers of the race also didn't know who Stripper
Josh was.
It was so funny because
dude, but he sent it in the vans so hard.
Oh yeah,
you were watching, you saw that.
Oh yeah, so hard. And same in Nitro Circus, he was always just like the guy that had more balls than talent. Is always how Travis described him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about his talent. I mean, he was racing a minivan, which doesn't require a lot of talent. But the balls part, I mean, maybe that's why he was a male stripper. I don't know. But he legitimately was a stripper in Vegas. Like, that's why they call him Stripper Josh. Like, it's not
I figured it was like stripping car parts or something.
He was literally a stripper in Vegas.
He's like recycling cars.
Dude, no, he told me he owned an auto shop. And he's like, dude, I lost my ass all week at the shop working on people's cars because I just wouldn't charge enough. He's like, I'd work on friends' cars. Like, I just did it because I like working on cars.
Yeah.
He's like, and then on the weekend, I'd go and make the money back. I don't remember. He worked at some anyway.
It's amazing.
Did you see his van jump?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't yet. I have clips of that.
I just
Instagram
don't
yet?
get how people's
Instagram
spines stay intact.
Oh my God. That was the biggest one ever.
So, you know, the interesting thing is that the way he jumped that was way easier on his spine than if he'd landed flat.
Oh, I believe it.
Because for those who didn't watch, he jumped probably 120 feet in a minivan, and their jump is only about as long as...
And these aren't like prepped rally minivans.
No,
these are just
bone stock.
minivans.
They're the cheapest minivans money can buy, too. So he hits the jump at just absolutely full throttle, and the jump is only about as long as our table. And if anyone knows anything about jumping, our table's like 8 feet long, right? That means that your front wheels leave the jump before your rear wheels hit it. So you don't launch in like a smooth fashion. The rear just gets booted way up in the air because it has less weight and it hits the jump by itself effectively. So, I mean, Stripper Josh was about 2 degrees away from just endoing on the front of his car.
Yeah.
Like, he just landed fully on the bumper and just nose wheelied for like 50, 70 feet down the track.
Yeah. Did you see it in person?
Oh, yeah, I was standing right there. Yeah, it was.
I bet that was
I thought he was going
mental.
over. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is... Because Jim York runs the Van Prix. Like, that's his thing. He started it. He sets it up. Like, he basically invented the Van Prix. So he's in charge of it. So at the driver's meeting, he's like, guys, do not hit the jump over 55. He's like, your car's going to flip and you will probably die. He's like, I've hit it at 60. I did a nose wheelie. If you go faster, you will flip and you will probably not survive.
That's what I was thinking.
Because
I'm like,
there's no safety equipment.
There's no roll cage or anything, right?
Nothing.
Yes.
Bone stock minivan. Nothing to it. And granted, he's not wrong about all of that. There's a chance you would survive, but you certainly don't want to find out the hard way.
How possible is it to even get over 60 around that corner?
I think you could if you were really trying. Yeah,
wow.
I think you could. I mean, if you had a good van, because that's the other thing. Not all of those vans are created equal. You've got Hondas with a V6 VTEC in them, and then you've got like Grand Caravans with just an engine of sadness. So like, or you could have a supercharged all-wheel drive Previa. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole spectrum of vans.
There's
that are
a
possible.
supercharged van in there?
Not this time, but there could be.
Wow.
But yeah, did you not know about the Toyota Previa?
I did not know there was a supercharged all-wheel
Wait, it gets
drive
better.
van.
It's a mid-engine supercharged all-wheel drive minivan made by Toyota.
Why don't we get one of those?
I don't know, because a lot of people have done stuff with them already because they're really cool
That
for a
sounds
minivan.
sick.
But do you remember when we went to that drift event many, many years ago? You remember the van that was drifting around?
Oh, yeah.
That was a Previa. I think they just took the front axles out because most
Nice.
vans are front-wheel drive, so you wouldn't be able to drift.
Yeah.
I think they just like disconnected the front axles and just sent it rear-wheel drive. But that was a Previa. Anyway,
Nice.
the point is there's a huge spectrum of van quality and speed. So,
So some of them could get fast enough to flip.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, Stripper Josh proved that. He was like 1
Yeah.
mile an hour away from flipping.
Yeah.
But the point being, because he skidded for so long on the nose, he's close to the front of the van. So when it lands, all he's got is the impact of the back end going flop,
Yeah.
which is way less than if you just launched like 10 feet up in the air and then landed straight down.
Yeah.
Like that would be way worse. And actually they were talking about that, and somebody was like, oh, we need a better jump. And Jim was like, honestly, the fact that jump sucks is what's saving everybody's spines. He's like, people have built like good gradual jumps for things
and if
like
you
that.
land
You just
flat-
land flat and your spine just compresses and it's really bad.
Yeah.
Because you don't have suspension anymore. You land so hard that you just frame hits the ground. And then all that shock just goes straight through your spine.
Yeah, it was like one of the best parts about the event as like a bystander. I haven't raced in it yet, but like modern racing is so like safe and politically correct and like just
yeah.
They don't let the drivers say anything or swear at each other even.
Right.
And like, I don't know. It's like racing is intense.
Yeah.
Like, and it needs to be intense to be interesting, especially if you're not the one doing it.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm sure like F1's really fun as a driver, even though you can't like say anything or give anyone a hard time afterwards anymore.
Right.
But it's like, it's so safe. Like you're not clinging on the edge of your seat.
Yeah. I mean, let's
But
be
like
honest.
the Freedom 500 and like this, even though the
Van Prix,
mullets, like even not like, cause they have roll cages and stuff, but 2 cars rolled over, like it's legitimately dangerous.
Yup. and those cars, they have really solid roll cages and good seats and harnesses, but like they also still have a glass windshield.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I was thinking.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they're still just a Crown Vic, and like you
there's
said,
so much glass on the ground.
Yeah,
I mean,
and 2 of them rolled that, which was crazy because they've never had a Crown Vic roll on that track before.
Did
And
they
then
not have the tires before?
was the
in
tires,
kidney? Because the tires.
everybody
were
was
just-
saying we cannot do the tires again. Because,
Yeah, that's dangerous.
well, they're a barrier that has like perfect traction, rubber on rubber.
Yeah.
So like you hit that barrier with your tire, because let's be honest, by like halfway through the race, everyone's front fenders are caved in, so your tire is the first thing to hit.
Yeah.
And it's just going to climb that other tire and just launch you, which is exactly what happened to 2 different people.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they probably won't run those again because despite that being highly entertaining for the fans, I don't think the people running the track want that.
No.
But yeah, so watching the Van Prix was hilarious. I didn't actually watch the Monster Truck show because it was like, so the order of events was qualifying, Van Prix, Monster Truck show, and then the start of the Le Mullets. And realistically, I wasn't like thinking about all the factors because I forgot that we had to like drive in there and get out of the car and do the driver introductions and all that before the race. But I was just by myself. Like I didn't have, last time we were there, you were there, Clinton was there, Andrew from ArcDroid was there. Like we had a bunch of people. So if I was like, I don't know, off using the bathroom and the race was about to start, somebody would be like, yo, Ethan, this is where you need to be.
Yeah.
So I was just like, and I just had hours to like, where like Jim was busy doing his stuff. All of Travis's people were busy. And so I was just by myself, just hanging out. And I was like, I just got like super paranoid that I was going to be late. So I just sat in my car. And while the Monster Truck show happened, I was just like, I'd rather be ready than not. Because I didn't know how much time we were going to have after the Monster Trucks to like get there. And I would, anyway.
No, I went and did a couple loads of dirt bikes to the new garage
it was a lot of time,
Because like we need to fix this barrier because one of the Monster Trucks actually crushed a cement barrier.
Yeah.
So they had to clean all that up and stuff.
So-
and I was like, I'm going to go take a couple loads of bikes.
It was funny. Like a couple of people walked by my car and they're just like, "Oh, you're ready to go." I was like, I mean, where else am I gonna be? Like wandering around and then like not hear the announcement that I need to be at my car? Like that'd be dumb. Anyway, so like I don't know. I get really like nervous before races. Like nervous isn't even super the right word because I'm not like scared that something's gonna go wrong. I just get really worried about like being there on time and like I'm just like
antsy.
Antsy, yeah, that's a good word for it. I just get the jitters. That's what I said to the camera. I was like, I got the pre-race jitters. I'm just like, sitting around. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't watch the monster trucks because I was worried about being late, but also because like I mean it's monster trucks, they're cool, but like once you've seen it kind of thing. But yeah, the Van Prix. For a minute there, I really thought Jim was going to win it, but then he hit the jump and his steering got a little jacked up, and then also somebody was trying to pass him, and then he just slammed into the back of one of the broke down vans.
That was like crazy seeing on the stream because it's like knowing that there's a problem with the steering makes sense because like it's like he didn't even try, like he just plowed straight into it.
No, but he just couldn't steer because he just jumped it.
And then I was like, man, he must just be on a whiplash session
I'm
for
sure
the
he was,
race. Like I can imagine how sore he was. He got into a legitimate car accident into a parked car,
slam,
and then did that.
Yep. Well, and that's why I did both qualifying and ran the first half of the race because he was doing the Van Prix, so that way he had time to
recover,
take a break, and just take a break, get some water, whatever he needed to do, Which qualifying was interesting because I've never, I've driven that track before as an oval, but never as a kidney bean. So, and we only had like last time we went there because, well, we were there a day early too, so that would have been part of it. But also we'd never raced before, so we got some practice laps, which was cool. This time, like I'd never driven that particular car. I mean, it's the same experience, but you never know how each car is going to behave. And I'd never driven the kidney bean orientation of the track. So I went out there and I had one cruise lap, not full speed, and then 2 laps to qualify, and that was it. So when I qualified in my lap felt terrible. I was like, that has got to be the slowest lap ever because I was just all over the place. But it turns out I qualified fine because I qualified in 9th out of 18 cars, so I was dead in the middle. But then they inverted the top 10, so I actually had position 2 to start in, which was not an advantage because of how they did the run-up start. So I had to sit in the car to drive. They tried to make it fair, and then they realized they just kind of really couldn't. So what it ended up being is whoever was in last place, their driver got to their car first because of the way. The co-driver has to running start from some point around the back of the track, run around, and then to their driver's your co-driver's car and slam the trunk shut before you can take off. Well, I was all the way in position 2. So Jim had to run all the way down the line of other cars before he could get to my car. So I actually pulled out and slammed into another car immediately because they were just full throttling down the full length, and I wasn't gonna wait, and also I wasn't looking either. I was just like, it's my turn to go. I'm going. Yeah. We just plowed into each other right out the gate.
Really?
Yeah.
I was wondering what happened because you were like, oh, they're switching the order, and they didn't actually even say that on the stream.
Oh, okay.
And then the cars started going by, and I was like, wait, if Ethan started in second, where is he?
Yeah. So it was the running start thing was entertaining, but I get it was really I don't really know how they would have made it totally fair just because of all the barriers in the middle and how they could have had them run an equal distance. And I guess in a way it's kind of cool to have it be an equalizer, but at the same time, then why did we qualify? There was no point in qualifying if we're going to do the running start thing.
Is that what they do in Le Mans though? Because the driver runs.
Yeah,
to the
driver
car.
themselves has to run.
Yeah, and then you're each the same distance away from your car.
Exactly, and this was not that.
Yeah.
P1 was way farther away than P18.
Yeah.
So anyway, I pulled out in I have no idea, 10th place or something like that. But yeah, so that was entertaining. I was actually kind of glad I didn't end up actually starting in second place because it feels like way more pressure because if you're in second place, you're not holding a good lap time, then everybody behind you, you're holding them up and they're going to be trying really hard to pass you and you're more likely to get spun out. Whereas if you're at the back, you can work your way up to wherever your ability is.
Yeah.
Whereas if you start out in P2, you're and you're not you can't
And
cut
you're
it.
against like a pro NASCAR driver or something.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like-
So I was like totally fine with not being actually first out the gate or second or whatever. Oh, that's who was right next to me, Blake Wilkie. He qualified 8th, so he qualified just as. Actually, he was who I qualified with. I was chasing him around the track, which he doesn't race circle track stuff, but he has like done a lot of races, which I have not. So yeah, he was right next to me. And then on the other side was, I think, one of Cleetus's guys. I can't keep track of all of their nicknames, but it was a team of one of his people. But but yeah, so once we started racing, it was like, yeah, I started out somewhere in the middle of the pack. Got used to the kidney bean pretty quick. Also, like when you're that tight, everybody's just bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
You don't have a whole lot of room for like how fast do I need to be going. You just go as fast as the car in front of you and figure it out. Also, my method of driving anything really has always been find the limit right away and then work backward from that to a controllable fast lap, which is the opposite of most people. They start with a controllable lap and then work their way up to a fast lap. I'm just like full throttle, find where the edge of traction is, and then keep it there or like slightly back. So anyway, I don't remember the exact how long it took me to pass people, but it felt good. I was like, the car was good. It was not last time I had a pretty sluggish car. It had plenty of power, but it just accelerated really slowly because the gearing was kind of high in it.
It seemed like you're passing people like every other lap.
Yeah, I don't. It
You're
was all kind of a
cruising through
blur.
the field.
Yeah, I was.
You're doing really good.
I was driving super. Like my other main goal this time, because like the first time we did it, I was like, okay, this isn't a real race. Like it's a race, but it's also an entertainment. Like it's not a point system. If I mess somebody up, I'm not like ruining their championship chances. I'm just like maybe ruining their chance to win a helicopter. But like in that race, I started even farther back in the race. So I was like, whatever. That race, I just drove like it was entertainment. I didn't drive like I was trying to be a good driver. I was just like, I'm going to drive as hard as I can and see what happens. And so that race, arguably, I was driving like an asshole. But so was everybody else. I mean, Whistling Diesel was in that race, and he started behind me, and I just let him pass because he would just slam into the back of the car. Not like a bump, like a just full throttle slam.
Damn.
And so that was also my context for it. But my goal for this race was...
And that was at the Freedom 500.
Right. Exactly. That was at the Freedom 500. So this one, like... I was just like, all right, I'm just going to try to race clean this time. Like, sure, if I bump somebody as I pass them and they spin out, fine, but I'm not going to I'm going to try not to slam into anybody, try not to do anything stupid. Like, I also knew that if I messed up the car in the first half, Jim wouldn't even get a chance.
Yeah.
So that was my other reason for trying to drive cleaner. But yeah, I was able to pass a bunch of people, and then I got up into third place, and I was just, I don't remember who I passed to get into third place. It might have been Gray Ledbetter, and she is a professional driver. She was driving the white 228 car. She drives short course. She races like the small trophy trucks on a short dirt course.
Yeah.
But she's raced all sorts of circle track stuff. She raced like quarter midgets and sprint cars and all of that stuff. So like she's done a lot of circle track racing. So when I passed her, I was like, I don't feel like I belong here. I was in third place, and I was like, okay, so in front of me is the person that owns this track. Or no, it wasn't Cleetus at that point because he had car trouble in like the second lap or something. But it was one of his guys. So like they raced that race every single time. And then whoever the other person was in second place was a professional driver of some sort, like very professional. And I was like, what am I doing here? But I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm not just imagining things, that I can drive fairly well. That was the coolest part about it, is to just like prove to myself, like I didn't care about winning at all. Like there was a few laps there where I was like, okay, if I play this right and I don't mess it up and Jim also drives really well, we might actually win.
Yeah.
Which was cool because I didn't expect that at all. But aside from those few laps where I was like, this might happen, I was just there to like for the experience. And I was like, running in third for that long and being able to like not just hold third, but like be trying for second.
Yeah. And both cars in front of you were sliding every corner, which did end up, they needed to pit before the end of the race. So like you weren't sliding as much as them. And I mean, your car didn't make it to the end.
But that was way beyond my control at that point. But
but I think that would have you were setting up Jim in the right spot for
and
sure.
that was my goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me personally, like my goal, I didn't want to let Jim down because I just met the guy, and also like that would just be a bummer for anybody, regardless of who my teammate was. I wouldn't have wanted to let him down by like ruining the car in the first half. But aside from that, my goal was just to like drive really, as well as I could. So like that was the best I could ever have hoped for, was to just cruise around in third and be like, okay.
You held third for a long time.
Yeah, it was like most of the first half of the
long
race. And I held off people that were behind me that were professional drivers. I mean, Blake Wilkie was behind me for a while. He would bump me into some of the corners, and then I heard over the race radios, they're like, I don't know if they might have called him out personally, but either way, they're just like, you don't need to bump every time. They know they're there.
And we have a huge announcement. We are giving away a supercharged V8 Ford Raptor on grindhardplumbingco.com. We have a bunch of new merch. Every dollar you spend gets you an entry to win. And if you join the Premium Members Club, you get an ad-free podcast, exclusive content, and entries to win our next giveaway every single month. You definitely want to enter to win this one. The truck is so sick. It sounds so good. You can enter right now at grindhardplumbingco.com. Thanks for listening.
So I'm disappointed you didn't win though, Ethan, for one primary reason. I think I already told Edwin this, but I saw on Cleetus' story that one of the prizes was a slingshot, right?
Yeah, so the prize was a Polaris slingshot and a Polaris Razor.
Oh, you get both, or
well,
was
yeah,
it?
because you're
okay,
racing as a
yeah.
team, so how would you split? And none of the
So-
teams are like from the same channel or anything.
So what I was picturing is you having to drive a slingshot home.
Because that was the requirement. Supposedly you have to drive it home, and I was like, absolutely
I
there
was
for
like,
it.
fingers crossed when I heard that, because I know what your feelings are on slingshots.
Yeah, well, but I still 100% would have driven it
Oh, I know you would
1,000
have.
miles home.
Yeah, that would
For
have
the
been
memes.
so entertaining.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, when I was almost winning, I was like, I don't care about the like value of the slingshot. Like if I drove it home, we would just sell it. Like I don't have a use for that, or we'd turn it into something silly for the channel. But like the Razor, I mean, sure, that would be cool, but I'm not like, oh wow, that's gonna change my life because I could win this and sell it and whatever. I was just like, that would be so freaking hilarious.
I know.
The one who's probably from the furthest
By
away.
far, not just probably, by a huge margin. Like the closest was the guys, Robbie Layton and Matt. That they're the next farthest away, and that's another 1,200 miles.
Wasn't Blake Wilkie from California?
I guess he is, yeah.
But I think we're still further.
Oh, totally.
Because
yeah,
you got to go north as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, like the point is, I was just like, as I was driving, I was like, I don't really care what happens the rest of the race. Like, this is all I needed. Because I've always imagined myself to be a good driver, but I haven't had enough racing experience to prove that, like, to myself. And I'm not just going to assume, like, yeah, obviously I can drive things around our track, but it's things I built on a track I built in my own backyard. It doesn't really count, and I'm not competing against anyone but myself, so there's no context.
Yeah.
And anyone I am competing against does not have the home court advantage of knowing what the track is like.
Yeah.
Um,
Or how the machines handle.
exactly. And also, like, a track time around this track here is basically just how much are you willing to push your luck?
Yeah.
Because it's really not about, I mean, it is about driving skill to some extent, but mostly it's just about how sketchy you're willing to get.
A lot of it is how fast are you willing to go down the hill into the field.
Yeah, exactly. That is most of where the
That's
time
most
is
of
lost.
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
The rest of it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because from this berm to the back berm, full throttle like isn't a big deal in a lot of our things.
Yeah.
But from that berm to the bottom of
Yeah.
the hill is 100%.
That's
Yep.
the spot I always get the most scared about.
Yeah.
Like,
Downhill.
And that's
Yeah.
the only spot we've ever had an incident, too.
It is. Well, and the thing
And that wasn't
is,
even your fault, really.
well, I mean, it was. It wasn't my fault driving skill. It was my fault for mechanic skill.
Not attaching the steering
Not
on the
enough
R1
pre-check.
golf cart.
Not a good enough pre-check. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
also, ironically, the only caged thing that you didn't build the cage.
that too. Yeah.
Because all of the cage things that you built the cage, you probably would have been better off. But that thing is a thin piece of trash.
Right. Well, I mean, luckily I didn't actually roll it, and so I didn't need to find out whether that cage was good or not.
But if you did,
Oh, yeah.
it would not have been
No,
good.
it wouldn't have been good. Totally. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So back to the race. Like, that was just the coolest experience to be like, okay, so I'm not just like, hyping myself up thinking I'm a good driver. I'm like, okay, if everybody here is either professional or drives this track every single time, and I've done this track once before in a different configuration, I was like, all right, like maybe I'm actually pretty good at driving. And
Because
also,
the cars are still all pretty much the same, right?
oh, absolutely. Like you might luck out and get a faster car just because they're
Some of them have different diffs or something.
yeah, they might have a different differential, or they might just be tired. You know, some of them have twice as many miles as others,
Yeah.
and you know, they're just they're all old cars. They start out the same, but who knows over time? You know, one of them maybe has a leaky something or other that they didn't catch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the cars are slower, but I didn't have a car that was any faster than anybody else's. Like when it came to straight up acceleration, that was never how I passed anyone, not once.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only places, and that track was very hard to pass on.
It looked it.
It was so hard to pass on that track because of like the back and forth of the corners. You're on the inside, and if you try to pass on the inside, then the next corner you're suddenly on the outside.
Yeah, a lot of people
So-
pass that way, just forcing people wide.
Yep, and that is kind of the only thing you can do is just force somebody over. But that's racing. Like if you get the better line,
Yeah,
tough.
it's yours.
It's yours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but during that time when I was holding third, like it just aside from like being in third, like the driving just felt really good. I was just like, this is like every lap was like pretty consistent. And the coolest part actually, not just holding third, but then I didn't find this out till after my half of the race, but I got fastest lap and held it for a while,
A long while.
which was really cool. But yeah, the bottom line is like, I've just always wanted to race cars. So like proving to myself, I didn't need to prove it to anybody else. Like that wasn't what it was about, but just proving to myself that like, I could actually do it given the opportunity, like be good at racing cars. Because I've always known I can be fast, but I usually do it by being stupid, not good, right?
But that's half the battle.
Well, it
that's
is,
why
but-
Travis can just jump into WRC and
Totally.
like do well.
But to
because he-
race, you have to be consistent.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. To be able to hold that many laps in third place and then be trying to pass into second place, that's when I got spun out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that I saw an opportunity to hit second and I took it, and I knew it was a risk because somebody, actually it was Gray Ledbetter who was behind me. She was trying to pass me while I tried to pass for second.
Yeah.
So it was a three-way pass, and I was like, either she's going to pass me and I'll be in fourth, or I can try at the same time to pass for second.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't work out, and she bumped me. No blame to her. That was just how it played out. And then I spun out and lost a bunch of places.
In the stream,
But-
it was like, I was like on the edge of my seat because I'm like, Ethan's actually doing really good. Because like last time, like, I don't know, this just wasn't as opportunistic. I don't know.
Well, the last time I started out way farther back, and
And we didn't have the like, everyone else had a radio telling them to go like when the cautions were over and
Yeah.
you just got passed every
The
time.
cautions were very different this time. They were much more organized.
That's good.
And also just because of the track, it was just so much tighter of a track with the kidney beans. There wasn't that opportunity for somebody to just blast past you on the inside after the caution.
Yeah. So I was like on the edge of the seat, and then all of a sudden you're just gone and the camera cuts back and there's just smoke. And I was like, no, what happened? We were doing so good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw our Instagram story, but I was like filming the screen and I was like, Ethan just took for third. Ethan just took for third.
But yeah, so I spun out and I was like, oh, that was dumb. But I didn't, like, I was able to drive right out of it. I didn't, and actually at that point I was like, man, why did they call caution? Like by the time they called caution, I was already facing the right direction to get on the track. And then later in the race, 2 people spun out and they didn't call caution.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I get that it's a difficult job, like managing that track for that kind of race where it's just chaos. So making that call, like I don't blame anyone for making
especially
that.
that at that point.
And and there was so much tire smoke from the spin out and there's 3 cars involved. Like, you know, I don't blame him for making that, but I was like, man, if they just hadn't called caution, I wouldn't have lost as many spots.
Yeah. What
'Cause I
spot
would've
did you get out into?
I don't remember, but I think there was at least 7 or 8 cars. I was basically last. Like there was a couple cars behind me, but then getting back organized from that caution was super chaos because they for a while forgot that I was the car that caused the caution. So they told me to regain a position back to where I had been. And then halfway through that, they were like, oh, never mind, you're not supposed to do that. It was just confusing. And, some people couldn't hear their receivers and whatever. But yeah, once we got back from that, we only had a few minutes left to the first half. So I just, like, I actually really enjoy, like, pushing through the pack. Like, that's what's more, like, that's the most fun is trying for the passes.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, I passed maybe three people or something like that.
Yeah, you went from
four.
10th to 7th on the restart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working your way back up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then
in like 2 minutes too.
Yeah, in just a couple minutes. So that was really fun. And then also then when we started back out, I got Jim in the car and he was stoked. He was like, I honestly didn't even expect to have a car by this point. I was like, well, that's a little rude, but I don't blame you. You're not wrong. Anyway, yeah, no, he was stoked about how well I drove on the first half. He took over, and then he was just holding 7th. I don't know if, he was driving. Like, I don't know who was in front of him. I don't know how hard it was to pass. He wasn't able to pass anybody. And then somewhere in there, he got bundled up with some other cars and got bumped into one of the tires, and it just broke his tie rod. Like, I saw him get involved, and I was like, oh, he made it out pretty clean. And then I saw him go into the corner, and his outside front tire was just a floppity. And I was like, oh, we're done.
Yeah, and they just used the last extra car right before that
for Robbie Layton because Matt had ruined the car in the first half. Actually, I don't know if it was Matt's fault. I'm just saying that because it's funny. But Matt and Robbie's car got wrecked or ruined in the first half, and like Cleetus had to go find another car. Like that's how it wasn't like they had spares lined up.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't one of those. They'd already used them up, and Robbie was like, "Dude, if I don't get to race, like, I'm not going to have a video out of this. Like, I'm screwed. Can you please find me a car?" And so Cleetus went and got him another car.
Okay.
But, yeah, it was fun watching the second half. Honestly, like, some people were like, oh, like, kind of bummed out about only doing half the race because then, like, the second half they couldn't, whatever, their teammate did something and they couldn't, like, keep up the pace or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I really enjoyed it because I got to do half the race and then just, like,
chill,
not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, if he wins, awesome. If he doesn't, I did what I could. I gave it. I gave him the car in running condition in a pretty dang good spot. Like, can't really ask for much more than that. Obviously, I was bummed when the car got broken and he was out of it, largely for his sake. But
I just wanted to see them because, like, obviously he and Travis are like boys.
Yep.
I really wanted to see them just rough it up with each other.
Well, yeah, because also, like, Travis's wife drove the first half, and she even said, like, in the driver introduction, she's like, I'm not going to try to pass anyone. I'm just going to keep the car alive for Travis. Like, so, and she didn't, she was, like, pretty close to last place in the first half.
Yeah, and he really worked his way up.
Oh, he was just passing like a madman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he had first place for a while. But yeah, then a bunch of stuff happened and he didn't win.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just super fun to watch the rest of the race and, just hang out. And everybody I met from Travis's crew was awesome. It was super cool just being able to hang out with somebody, well, with all of those guys because they're all awesome. Like I was saying, the day after the race, I stuck around for the burnout show, not because I really cared about the burnout show, just because I figured, you never know what'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I was right because Street Bike Tommy and I almost just got a burnout truck and drove home in it. So there was a minute there where that was the plan. And then we realized the guy was joking when he said that we could just have his truck if he got a flight home.
People need to learn not to make jokes like that with you because
I
I will drive it
like,
3,000
let's
miles.
do it. And Tommy was like, I was like, I don't have to be home on Monday. And he was like, well, I kind of do, but it'd be worth it. Like, let's go. He basically just agreed to it on the spot. And then the guy was like, well, I actually can't because I have another burnout contest with the truck in like 2 weeks. And we're like, well, fair enough.
So he didn't want another 3,000 miles on the truck?
Well, it just would have been on the wrong side of the country.
Oh, well, that too.
And despite it being like a cheap truck with a junkyard motor and a, eBay turbo on it, like, he probably still wasn't going to, he had a lot more than a plane ticket worth of money into it.
Chris, do you know how Street Bike Tommy got his name?
Yeah.
I told him this. I think I told him the story this morning. I forgot about the podcast a little bit, so I might have told Chris some of the events. But
I don't know if I know this.
Really? Oh, it's beautiful. You know how Travis has his foam pit and he always teaches people how to backflip into the foam pit?
Yeah.
And you know how he always says to hang left? because it's the corner turns left and so it shoots people right.
Okay.
So you want to hang left and hit the jump straight. And he's very strict about how you're supposed to hit this jump. Street Bike Tommy, before he was Street Bike Tommy, do they just call him Tommy? What'd they call him before that?
They might have already called him Street Bike Tommy, to be honest, because I think he was. That's a good question. We should look into it before speculating. But he already rode street bikes, or else he wouldn't have been trying to backflip one. I would assume.
I don't know if he was even trying to backflip it.
Yeah, he was. That was the whole point.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, he was trying to backflip a street bike into the foam pit.
And completely missed
The
and
foam
just
pit.
lands completely away from it. Like
In
he
a
couldn't
skid
be
steer.
further.
Like
a skid steer with like the cage and everything. Bam, right on the roof of the skiddy.
upside down. Could not imagine a worse crash.
Yeah.
And he,
So at least in the
survived.
Nitro Circus show, that's how they introduce him, is like his name is Street Bike Tommy because of this.
Right.
Like in the TV show, they said that. Maybe he was before then, but that's when he really
I have no idea,
became
but-
Street Bike Tommy as far as the media is concerned.
Did he ever go try it again?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. I mean, I
He
wouldn't.
did a bunch of other stunts on the, they built like a giant slip and slide, and he was doing that and stuff. But
Yeah.
he's been the point is he's been part of Travis's crew for forever.
And he was always the biggest guy on the crew. So when he took slams, he took slams.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight since then. He's currently on a keto diet, like super strict. He doesn't drink anymore, like, which
Nice.
is super cool. Like he's really trying to get healthier and
Yeah. You got to at a certain age.
or you're just gonna be broken for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Especially if that's your career.
yeah. But yeah, like all of those guys were super awesome, and they just like, it was really funny. And I'm not gonna say I planned it this way, but I definitely like wasn't trying to make it obvious who I was. Like I certainly didn't walk up to everybody and be like, "Hi, I'm Ethan from Grindhard." I just showed up. Like I was just there to, like, especially at the beginning, because I wasn't like,
You're like that kid that goes to a new school. Hi guys, I'm the one that built the monster chopper.
right, exactly. Like I'm not. But also, I was just like behind the scenes of them filming a thing with another channel, so I was just like being quiet and staying out of the way.
Yeah.
But also, I was wearing one of our shirts, but it doesn't say Grindhard. It's the Just Build It one.
Yeah.
So it's not really obvious. You could just see it as like a Nike shirt that's printed wrong, like, or whatever. But I was wearing that, and then I was just wearing a hat that wasn't one of ours or whatever. So it was funny because no one knew who I was. Like none of those guys recognized me, and then they're like, "Oh, what do you?" And like every time they asked, they knew of our channel, which I also don't expect. I'm like, they're all famous in their own ways. Like I don't watch YouTube. I don't assume that everybody else does.
Yeah.
So I'm never going into a conversation assuming that someone knows who I am, because that just feels like douchey, for lack of a better word. Like, just, oh, you know who I am. But it was hilarious because like they all just didn't care. They just like invited me into the trailer with them and Travis and Stripper Josh and Comb Over Steve. And do you know who Comb Over Steve is? I don't know if that's one of their. I don't know if he's been on the Nitro Circus or not. Well, he's a guy named Steve who's bald on the top of his head, and he's got a tattoo of a comb over on his scalp.
Oh,
I was thinking
Comb Over Steve.
this would have been good timing for me to meet somebody named Comb Over Steve.
Oh yeah, you should show the podcast what you got going on.
Almost no one's seen this. Like you guys have seen it, but
I haven't seen it in the daylight.
you really need to like
how's it?
scruffle it up a little bit.
yeah, because
It's
it's
been under
probably
your
all
hat.
kind of wild, right?
Yeah, Steven has a big old mohawk.
I don't know if
We were,
show up in the camera.
We're building a permanent podcasting setup that's going to be really cool. And so Steven was over yesterday. He brought the Indian over, and we were just hanging out. And he was like, all right, well, let's go to the skate park later. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And then he sends me a Snapchat of him just shaving his head. And I was like, okay, well, hit me up when you're done.
Well, it was really funny too, because I was like, bzzz, and Alyssa was in the kitchen cooking dinner, and I was like, hey, can I get your help? And she was like mid-cooking steaks. So she walks in and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, well, I thought I could give myself a mohawk, but it's not that easy. So she had to stop cooking and help me. Yeah. I don't know how
dude,
long.
If you and Comb Over Steve got in the same room, you would collectively have a complete set of hair.
It'd be like two Steves, one hair.
Yeah, two Steves, one hair.
Exactly. So we get to the skate park, and this kid is like, and this does tie into your like,
Oh, okay,
don't
yeah.
assume people know who you are. But it was so funny because
Oh yeah.
we roll up to the skate park, and this kid is like just like staring at me kind of.
Well, he came up to me first.
Yeah.
Because he was like, do you watch Grind Hard Plumbing Co.? And I was like, yeah. He's like, you know Edwin from that show? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he's like, that guy sounds just like him.
Yeah. and then Steven was like, oh, yeah? Huh, that's interesting.
You didn't tell the kid?
No, I didn't.
That's hilarious.
And so he was like, wow, that's crazy. And then I was like, yeah, no, that is me. And he's like, really? He's like, that's so cool. But this kid is a legend. He was skateboarding in cowboy boots.
Wow.
Whoa.
And crushing it.
Yeah.
That sounds very difficult.
Yeah. So, but it was funny that, yeah, we had our, it wasn't like we're hanging out with Travis Pastrana or anything. But it was so funny because, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, that's Edwin from Grindhard. And I'm like, yeah, and that's Steven from Grindhard. And he was like, and he called his friend and he was like, the Grindhard guys are at the skate park.
I was getting worried. I was like, I wasn't trying to have a meetup. I was trying to learn to skate again. I was like, this is embarrassing enough. Like we went after dark, so there wouldn't be
that's
people
exactly
there.
what we did. I was like, oh, I don't, I'm not from Grindhard. I'm just a kid who sucks at skateboarding trying to skate.
A kid, huh?
Yeah.
Just a 31-year-old kid.
Yeah.
It creeps up on you, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still feel like a kid. I see Chris always talks about it, but
Yep.
like I was like skateboarding and I was like Steven said, we are both a little sore this morning. We probably only skated for like 40 minutes.
Right. And probably didn't even really like crash hard or anything.
Yeah.
Just,
No,
No.
yeah.
But you know what, Chris, when I was looking at the jet boat video that we just posted,
Yeah.
doing the twin engine jet boat, it was up here in the loft. And there's this shot of you just hopping up on this table on your knees, getting right up and hauling that thing down from the loft.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't know if a lot of guys your age are doing that, Chris. That's awesome.
Probably not. Probably not.
No, you're crushing. You've got 2 fake knees or just 1 fake knee?
Just one. Just one.
But
yeah.
still, like, you're just whipping it out like nothing.
maybe don't say it that way, Edwin.
Also, I sometimes feel bad because like my job is running the camera, but
Yep.
sometimes I'm like filming Chris do something, and I'm like, I feel like I should
Do that
help
thing.
Chris
Yeah.
do that thing.
No, I really enjoy doing that. And I don't know about you guys, but I was so proud when they introduced Ethan's car number and said, Ethan Schussler from Grindhard Plumbing. I mean, it made me really proud.
I was thinking you're probably a proud garage dad in that moment.
Yep.
And seeing him race too. I mean,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he did so good.
we got to get this
So
kid in
good.
like a real race car.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's all I've been thinking about since I got out of that car. That is the only thing I've been thinking about.
We should do like Legends or like one of the Noras or something.
Anything, yeah.
A Baja race. He'd be
So,
really good.
you know
at
what I was
that.
thinking? You know how we're planning that build that involves us needing a side-by-side?
I am knowing about this.
Yeah, right? We all know about this build. One of our options for a side-by-side for that is from Harper Motorsports.
Mhm.
Shout out to Harper Motorsports for always giving us good deals. Anyway.
And everyone else
And
too.
everyone else too, totally. But
No, I tell everyone.
yeah, no,
like
but
my
that's-
buddy was like, "Oh, I need a new snowmobile this winter. Are you selling anything? Like, I know you guys got a bunch of stuff laying around." I'm like, honestly,
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
no ad, no plug. Like,
No,
go to
for sure,
like,
yeah.
I wasn't even like, we don't get commission or anything.
No.
It's just like, no, for real. Like, they're
No.
good guys with good deals. Like,
Like right now
they
have
test their stuff to make sure it works. Like before they
Yeah.
sell it. Like,
I've been looking at Ducati Scramblers for a long time now,
mhm.
and they have the best deal on one. Well, specifically the Desert Sled model, which is the one I want. They have
Yeah.
the best deal on all of Marketplace right now.
Well, don't tell them that. Don't
But
tell them
he
the
know-
bike that you want.
Oh, well, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to buy it right now anyway. I have too much stuff to store this winter anyway. But
Word.
anyway, the point is, one of the side-by-sides he has is that awesome Can-Am that was built for racing.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what if we
Mhm.
buy, because he offered that to us for like a really good price
Uh-huh.
for our side-by-side rebodying project.
Yeah.
What if we buy it right, like immediately, and then use it for racing for a couple of races this winter? Because there's
Mhm.
some desert races, like, I mean, even King of the Hammers, in theory, you
Oh,
could just
use it as a regular
use it
side by
as a
side.
racing, like in a race class as a side-by-side
Mhm.
before we rebody it. Because after we rebody it, it would never be competitive in anything.
Yeah.
Just because that body would, well, and the body would get destroyed, which would be a shame
Yeah.
because it's not replaceable.
Mhm.
We'll leave it at that, and you can wonder about it. But anyway, Yeah, so that's one of my ideas. Is just that because that thing's super cheap and like, would it win? No, but you could race it.
Yeah.
Like it's not competitive, but it would. It's already got all the safety equipment and stuff.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It'd be the cheapest to get into it, plus something that is useful for a video outside of racing.
And even if I like roll it in the race, we might have to replace a few parts. But like, so what? The cage we're going to cut off anyway.
Yeah.
You know, like if I break it, it's got enough parts, like we can just replace whatever I break and it'll still be worthwhile. And it's cheaper than any other. So that's one idea for racing. But anyway, before we get too off topic, I was just going to say like huge shout out to Jim for inviting me to the race and like also just to Travis's whole crew for being so welcoming. That was the point, is that they had no idea who I was and they still just were totally fine with me hanging out with them in the RV, just telling all these crazy stories. Like nobody's like, who's this guy? Get him out of here. Like,
yeah.
And then it was really funny because like stripper Josh was in there and he was like, oh, like, hey, I'm Josh, whatever, introduced himself. And then I was like, oh yeah. And he's like, so you're driving with Jim? I was like, yeah. And I do this. And he's like, wait, you're you? I didn't realize you were you. And then he like kept apologizing for it later. He's like, man, I can't believe I didn't realize that you were you. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. I would much rather just be some dude who's here to race. Like, I'm not here to be famous. But it was so funny because like that happened with almost all of them. They're all like, oh, or like, yeah. But just, yeah, they're all really cool people and super welcoming, even though like, you know, they just they deal with a way higher level of fame and notoriety than we do, and like they're just still, you know, super. I mean, they all live an incredibly different lifestyle than I do, but they still just like, I don't know, very welcoming, and it was a blast. And you know, part of the reason to go on this was to get better connected with that team so that we can do stuff with them more in the future, like have them out here. Jim York really wants to try to set a world record for the longest Barbie Jeep jump or something.
Oh boy. I want to see him do it.
Yep.
Jim wants to do it, or he wants to do it with Travis driving it?
No, I think he wants to drive it.
Oh, okay.
Because you saw their little jet boat loop-de-loop thing, right?
Oh, did he drive that?
That was Jim driving the jet boat in that.
That was sick. Such a good idea.
So cool, yeah. So Jim does a lot of the stunts on their channel, it seems like, these days.
Yeah. It's also the first YouTube video I've seen that did the collaborative upload. Like, you know how you can collab post on Instagram?
Oh, really?
They did that with Brunt.
Whoa.
Brunt Boots.
I didn't know that.
So
that's crazy.
It's the very first. I was just scrolling, like, well, it came out 2 days ago. I was just scrolling and I was like, that's weird. I've never seen that before, which the thumbnail is amazing and great. And it's super sick video. But the first thing I noticed as a YouTube nerd, I was like, oh,
it's a
there's
collab
two
video.
channels, like the bubbles, like the profile pictures are jammed into each other.
I did not know that was an option on YouTube.
Yeah, so
isn't that's a beta feature, right? Not everyone has that, or
I'm not sure at this point. I'd assume so, but Brunt only has like, I mean, when this went live, like 6,000 subs, so they wouldn't have the beta feature. Maybe you get it if you're invited by, I don't know how it works. I haven't tried it yet.
That is cool though.
But I was thinking it's really cool because, like, you know, when like YouTubers collaborate with each other and then they both make the same video.
When we do this one with Robbie, the Ferrari thing.
Yeah.
Like,
that'd be cool.
When we have him up here to help us with the body on that.
Yeah, maybe we could do something like that.
Yeah, because like when we send it down to him to finish the body, like we'll just let him do all those videos because we're not even going to be there, and it's also content that like doesn't really make a lot of sense for us, all the, you know, body work and paint and stuff.
Yeah.
But when he comes up here, we're both going to be filming the same thing, so yeah, it might be worth trying. That's super cool.
And it's perfect if you're like, if you want to make a video with someone, but then you get paid like very little over time with the way YouTube works. But like if you were a collab, I assume that you can like split the revenue from the video too without having to like do it yourself with like an accountant and like for small channels without a big team. That's so nice. You could like collaborate on a video, but both be getting paid for the video.
Not have to worry about who's getting paid and who's not.
Or like if both channels upload the same video, it does like worse. And like, I don't know. I think it's probably really cool in general as long as it works. But that was the first one I'd seen from a big channel using it. So
because the Instagram one really doesn't.
No.
What it does is it takes the lowest, whatever channel gets the least views, and it just gives you that basically. Like every time we've done it anyway, like unless you're collabing with somebody on the same level, it seems to just ruin it for whoever's lower.
Yeah, but this
Or, I mean,
video
for
seems
whoever's
to be
higher.
doing well with obviously
Yeah,
couldn't
they
be
were
more different.
well, they posted it the day we were there filming
Uh-huh.
and on Friday, and they were stoked about it. So I don't know
Yeah.
what their averages are, but they were like, "Oh, it's already at this, that, or the other," and
Yeah,
that's good.
They really crushed the
So,
thumbnail on
yeah.
that one.
I mean, and it's just such a ridiculous idea too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just awesome. Like, and also something that I was talking with, because I spent a lot of the next day hanging out with Robbie Layton too in the evening, and we were just talking about the whole event and how cool it is that Cleetus has made that event, because I think that the way that YouTube is going and the way that racing is going and the way that media in general is going, I think that event is cool in and of itself. But I think the fact that he's done it and it's been so successful, I hope is going to pave the way for a lot more of that type of event where it's actual racing, but we acknowledge that what pays the bills is entertainment, not winning the race.
Yeah.
And you can have people that don't have the money to race or the time or whatever else be able to race. You know, have all these other people that are adjacent to racing or from a different, class of racing all come together and race together for the sake of entertainment. And yes, it's still a real race. Like, you're still competing, you still have rules, and there's still a winner and there's still a prize.
Yeah.
But it's like also for entertainment, and everybody driving has their own audience and they bring that to the race, because I mean, just a couple weeks ago, we were in, Arizona for the NASCAR event, because NASCAR has realized that their audience is getting old and they need to figure out how to get the younger audience interested. And the answer is, apparently, because they paid us to go do that, people like us that have a younger audience. And like, I don't know. I just think it's really cool that Cleetus has done that, because no one else was really doing that. And he's proved that it works.
Yeah.
And I think, and I hope that like other types of racing and entertainment will like follow that pattern. And also other YouTubers are going to keep doing that. I mean, we've already got that happening with like Matt's Off-Road Games. It's a very different thing. I mean, it's not racing. You can't call it that, but it is competition in cars. And I mean, Robbie Layton also just bought a racetrack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little dirt oval track.
Is that public?
I mean,
I think he's made a
I think
video
he's
about
already
it.
made
'Cause
videos
I knew it. Yeah.
Steven was nodding his head. So I assume
Okay.
so.
Well, Steven has heard about it. I was like making sure we weren't.
We should
dropping
double check
things
really quick,
that-
but I'm pretty sure I saw
he
that.
was talking about it like people knew what it was.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have races there.
Yeah. He's actually doing. They're doing a Van Prix there sometime later or next year or something. Like,
oh, cool.
Yeah. So, but it's a dirt oval, so you can do a lot more interesting stuff with it, because you can build jumps on it out of dirt instead of having a metal ramp, or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's super cool. And I don't think he's totally sure what he's going to do yet with it in terms of racing, but I don't know. It's just cool to see racing get sort of reborn, because and in a way that is appealing to younger audiences, and more importantly, is more accessible.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have a whole team. And that's the coolest thing about going to Cleetus's races. You don't have to even have your own car. He buys all the cars. And his whole crew gets them all set up.
Yeah, it doesn't get any more accessible than that.
And like,
Pretty accessible.
and we all understand that the entry fee for that is having a large audience and bringing them to his race.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't post about it on your own thing, he posts about it and he's like, these are the people at the race. And those fans see it and they're like, I want to watch that race. And it's pay-per-view online. You could buy a ticket to see it in person. You can watch recaps on YouTube, whatever. Like, everything is a form of currency. And like, in this case, it's like, yeah, he pays for the cars, and in exchange, you come with an audience. And I just think it'd be I just think it'd be really cool if that keeps going with other motorsports and other races. And just that race is awesome,
Yeah. And just kind of share the message of keeping racing alive in general.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
They even tried to shut his track down. And
right.
I mean, you'd have to ask Cleetus directly, but I want to say that track would have been shut down if he didn't have such a big audience that were, calling the mayor's office or whatever. Because he made so many videos about it, and like, it was standing room only, and the whole parking lot was just packed of people standing in the parking lot just showing support, you know? And obviously, if it was just some racetrack by some guy that only the racers cared about,
It would have.
they'd get 40 people in
Yeah.
that room and it'd be a housing development,
Yep.
you know?
Dude,
And
it
like, you'd
is-
have to ask Cleetus directly, but that's the impression that I get.
Totally. And dude, speaking of which, it is insane how much that area has grown. Like we were
Yeah.
there less than 2 years ago.
Oh,
I
like the
barely
houses are getting
recognized it.
closer?
Oh yeah. They're right up to it already, almost. Like, you know how like last time we were there, it was like quite a few miles
Yeah.
of driving through fields. Now
Mhm.
it's like 2 blocks from housing developments to the track.
Jeez.
I mean, maybe not 2 blocks, but like less than a mile. It's crazy, but yeah, and I mean that track was already gonna be shut down when he bought it,
Yeah.
and now it's alive and well, and now it's like one of the more well-known tracks around because
yeah.
like our generation just isn't doing the same stuff that the older generations did.
Yeah.
Like, and that's
And
normal.
a lot of that stuff you get priced out of.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you not real racing, but like the traditional races, like, is so expensive to
Yeah.
go to. Like the tickets, the hotels get all jacked up. Like,
Yep.
you know, at least NASCAR, like you can camp, but it's still like expensive compared to any other kind of camping.
Yep.
But like, you know, having a race that's affordable
Accessible,
that
yeah.
you can just go and bring your family without
Right.
breaking the bank is also a big deal.
For sure.
We need to make a racetrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our problem is, Chris, we're really, really far away from large population centers or airports.
But we can still live
look
stream it.
Look at the track you went to 2 years ago. It was
Yeah, but it was still like only an hour's drive from multiple
Yeah.
giant airports.
It's like what, half 35 from Tampa?
It's to
In-
the track. It's an hour
Oh,
from the
okay.
Tampa airport to the track is an hour.
Yeah.
It's like 40 minutes to Bradenton, which is the town that it's adjacent to.
Yeah.
But it's also the same distance from a different airport. I forget which one, but like it's in between 2 big airports, and it's in Florida,
Yeah.
which is got an enormous population.
But I think we could build a track and do an event and have it be primarily live stream, like,
Audience,
you know,
yeah.
for sure. I
Right.
think that would be the most, because we do live just far from everything.
Yeah. Or I was thinking about this on the plane ride home too. Robbie is pretty far from us, but it's only a 1-day drive, and he just bought a track. I was like, maybe we can just do stuff with him, like work together on that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a day's drive, but we could. That's plausible. Unlike Florida, where
Yeah.
that's 3 days each way,
Yeah.
and like so, like we could, we could go down there and help him build new stuff on the track, and then have an event there. Because like also Utah's got a much bigger population than we do too.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
people
another
really
thing.
interested in cars and off-roading.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, we should also build our own track maybe at someday too. But like that's a step on the direction. But
yeah.
I just really want to. I mean, I've always wanted to race. I mean, since like, yeah. I mean, I've been into cars since I could think, and I've I mean, like since probably before that, but definitely since I saw the Baja races with Chris when I was 13 for the first time, and he had to like yell at me constantly to not get run over by trucks because I was trying to get pictures.
getting way too close. I mean, way too close.
I'm standing like leaning into the track, and I'm looking at a trophy truck, and about when it's where you are
Yeah.
is when I step out of the way.
I could see that.
And Chris is yelling at me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "You can't tell me what to do. You're not my dad."
Yeah. You see, Chris, I've been trying to explain this to you. How Ethan feels about racing ever since he was a kid. That's how I feel about wheelies.
Oh no!
I was like I was a little 3-year-old kid hanging on to my dad's little bar between the bars, doing wheelies, and I just been hooked for life. But I watched all the Supercross documentaries with him, and I had exposure to knowing that you could also race dirt bikes, but I never really wanted to do that. I just wanted to go do wheelies. And I always really, really sucked at it too until I got the electric dirt bikes, and those are so easy. And now I'm trying to transition the skill into real dirt bikes because I realized that wheeling electric dirt bikes is pretty dang cool, but like wheeling real dirt bikes with the foot brake is just way cooler. Shifting gears while you're in a wheelie. Oof.
I knew a kid that was just amazing doing wheelies. He worked at Groupon with me when I had that situation, and that kid could ride a wheelie as far as you wanted.
Ooh.
As far as you wanted.
Nice.
So
That's what I want to. I want to get built like that, like where I only put down the front wheel if I need to
Eat lunch.
stop at a red light. Yeah,
To eat lunch.
exactly. That's
Yep.
where I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
Knobbies, off-road, on-road, crotch rockets, any
Well,
of it.
Edwin, the good news is that's a vastly more attainable goal than racing.
Yeah.
Because there's a very, very accurate saying about racing, and that is, you want to know how you make $1 million racing?
Make $1 million and then race.
Start
Yeah.
with 2 million.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. Well, you know the money tree. You know money tree.
What is
You've
money
never
tree?
heard of money tree?
What is money like?
Money tree is like you go in and you get like a crafty loan on bad terms to like try to pay your rent.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they do all these like really bad.
I just didn't know if there was some other context. that I was
No,
missing. That-
no, it's called
yes.
money tree.
Yeah.
And so they do all these really bad practices to give money to people who can't pay it back and like call them every single day and
Right.
harass them and send them to collections and like
And
it's
get their car titles.
exactly. So
Yep.
this is Money Tree, and the guy who owned it started it because he wanted to progress his racing career,
And he didn't
and
have
so
enough
he's
money.
literally reverse Robin Hooding.
That's
know,
hilarious.
Yeah, and
I
he's
mean, it's also
spending
terrible, but
all the money on race cars and racing, and he still couldn't win a race to save his life. And then it all goes belly up, and there's all these, like
wow.
it took a long time, but eventually the law was like, we can't be doing this anymore. And it still exists, but like it's less predatory than it
Right.
was. But yeah, like there's this Dirty Money. I think it's on Netflix.
Mm.
There's a whole episode about him. And the whole time he's like sitting in Ferraris, like GT3 Ferraris. And it's not like he was like super wealthy before this. All of his money is from these shady loans. And he's like racing GT3 Ferraris. And he's like, I have to. It's for the race. It's for the team, And it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh no, dude, you're like literally. Okay, the salt of the earth is a good thing, you said?
Yes.
So what's like a bad thing? The scum of the earth?
Yes.
This guy's literally like as bad to the bone as it gets. Like,
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there like, I gotta do it for the race. And it's like, no. Like, and
Yep.
that's the kind of racing that doesn't need to keep happening.
Yeah, no, not at all. Well, the good news is for us that I genuinely, like, when I'm in the car, I am extremely competitive. Like, I'm going to drive as hard as I can. But otherwise, I don't really care about winning. Like, I just want to go race. And, like, it has to be a real race or it doesn't feel real. Like, you can't just go drive fast in the desert and pretend you're racing. It doesn't work. It's not the same
Yeah.
thing. You don't get the adrenaline. You don't get the hype. You don't get the any of
Yeah,
that.
if you're racing, it's totally different.
Exactly. It's totally different.
You got to want to pass the guy ahead of you.
Exactly. Because then you have something to chase.
Yeah, it's like
but
playing
I
Call of
like-
Duty campaign versus online.
Exactly.
Call of Duty campaigns don't even exist anymore. Why would you even bother?
Right. Yeah.
You want to race.
Exactly. But you know what? So speaking of racing, guess who won the Baja 1000?
I don't know.
The only person you could know that would win the Baja 1000.
The only person you know with a trophy truck?
Blake Wilkie? I don't know him personally.
Oh my God, dude. Christopher Pavardi.
Oh.
We spent like 3 days with him last winter at Snowed In.
That makes more
Yeah.
sense.
He won the Baja 1000. It's awesome.
That's so
Yeah.
sick.
He teamed up with Bryce Menzies. I don't know if you've ever even heard that name before. I don't remember what else Bryce races, but obviously the Baja. So they were teammates and yeah, they crushed it. They won.
Heck yeah.
1,000-mile race. So this morning, this is what reminded me to tell you that. This morning I was looking through the race results from Score, and I've told you all, well, Chris already knows because he watches the races, and I've definitely talked about it a lot with you guys. There's a bunch of different classes in Baja, and one of them is Class 5. Class 5 Unlimited is you still have to have a body of a Volkswagen Beetle, but
Mhm.
pretty much everything else is fair game.
Is that what Wilkie did with his purple one?
No, because that's a new Beetle, so I don't think that would classify.
Oh.
I don't know what he raced that in, but it couldn't have been the Class 5.
Okay.
Because that thing's a trophy truck with a Volkswagen Beetle body.
Oh.
And you still have to have like the body of the Beetle, and he does not. I mean, he's got a fiber, like it's a new Beetle body anyway, anyway.
Okay.
I don't know what class he was in, but guess how many Class 5s finished the 1000 this year?
6.
1.
Only
so
one
if you
finisher?
finish the Baja 1000, you win your class in that class. And I think only like 2 or 3 even were listed for that class. So I don't know.
Why don't we do that? Let's run it up.
That's what I'm saying.
Could you imagine the YouTube video? I won the Baja 1000 and it's not clickbait technically?
Right, because you would be winning your class. But yeah, I was looking through the results and I was like, there's only one. And there's a bunch of classes that are very few that actually finished. Like the class 11, that's the cheapest class there is because that's stock Volkswagen Beetles. Oh, brutal. And there's a reason that only one of them finished because a lot of them entered on that class.
Are you in on this, Chris?
Yeah.
Chris can be the race manager or like the pit manager. I mean, or my co-driver, but I don't know if you'd want to subject yourself to that level of physical abuse.
Well, that's what I was asking.
We'll just give him the pillow out of the MTV and
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, if you were in your MTV, you'd be fine. You'd just send it. Is there an MTV class?
No, but I do want to look into for the Nora 1000, there's a lot more classes and it's a lot more chill because you camp. So it's like you drive during the day and then you camp. It is still a race, but it's a multi-day rally. Whereas the Baja, you have like 30-something hours to finish, and if you don't, you just DNF.
Yeah, there's somewhere around 21 hours now that they do it.
No, dude, Pulvardi did it in 15.
15
hours and some change.
Jeez, 1,000-mile
But
challenge.
Here's how...
I mean, across the desert.
Yes.
I mean, it's incredible.
It's insane.
Is there a mini Chinese electric car class?
No, there's not.
Oh, could you imagine? I'd build those people differently.
There is a wheelie class in the sense that there's a dirt bike class. There's even an Ironman dirt bike class. There's a whole class now for Ironmanning the Baja 1000. Meaning you don't have a co-driver. You just drive 1,000 miles by yourself.
I've actually heard about this, and I actually know someone who's done a race like that and just rode his dirt bike all day and all night.
Yep.
And did pretty well at one of these races.
I
just don't know if I'm built different enough to do that.
I don't think you are, and I know I'm not.
I don't think I am.
No,
like,
it's
I
brutal.
really like riding dirt bikes, and I do. When we go riding, I tend to ride more than anyone I'm with my whole life.
Yeah.
But that is like a built different kind of activity
really
that even this Chang Li man can't imagine.
And I know we've talked about this on the podcast before, but we need to have a movie night and watch Dust to Glory.
Okay.
That's all that any of us need to get hyped on Baja.
Yep.
Okay.
But,
Chris has seen it.
But dude, I was looking at...
Sounds like.
Yeah.
We should have
Definitely.
movie night when I get my new racing sim set up, and we'll race and watch the movie on the triple screen.
Perfect. But yeah, dude, I was looking this morning on Race Desert Classifieds. There is so many really nice Class 5 unlimited cars for like under $100,000.
Yeah, the economy's going like this, man.
I know.
It's like everyone's ski racing.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. But also the UTV class. I mean, it's the least cool class, arguably.
Mm-hmm.
But like we could buy that side by side for $15,000 from Harper Motorsports and enter the Baja 1000. Pretty much. That's all it would. Granted, there's a lot of money
Chris
in
like that idea.
There's
got
a lot of
spark in his eye.
There's a lot of money you'd need in pit crews and like you still have to have pit crews set up and stuff like that. But
Yeah. How do you even go about figuring that out?
chase truck, I don't know. But
I guess we just ask Chris.
We do know people who know exactly. We hang out with Christopher Pulvardi again.
we should get
and-
him on the podcast.
Yeah, we should.
Definitely.
And we should see where we
will-
can race diesel Ferraris.
Yes, that too. You know, I was watching the Burnout show at Cleetus's thing, and I was like, building a car for a Burnout show to me is very pointless. But going to a Burnout show with cars you already have and doing burnouts could be a lot of fun. Case in point,
The solo car.
yes, that too. But
Nice.
case in point of that, there was a dude that entered the Burnout contest in the pro class, just has a really badass rock crawler, just put teeny tiny tires on it, and just went and destroyed the place. And the coolest thing is, he went in rear-wheel drive until he blew both rear tires. Then he put it in four-wheel drive and did cyclones. Just absolutely manic
Nice.
cyclones all around the middle of the track.
Awesome.
So the point is, this Ferrari could be real fun in a burnout pit.
Yeah.
And you know what else could be fun in a burnout pit? The fire truck.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if we just got a really hyped up, which I was telling Robbie Layton about this, and he said he has a contact for us if we want like a 700 horsepower Cummins. He worked with somebody and they gave him one for his tow truck.
Okay.
Or helped him out with it anyway. But yeah, point is, not racing. It was a side note, but like doing burnouts with really dumb thing. Because like a purpose-built burnout car, it's impressive what they can do, but I don't understand the desire to build one that's all it can do is burnouts.
Yeah.
We got sidetracked. Racing's way more interesting. Let's get back to that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, we were asking Chris if he wants to drive.
Chris,
what part of this racing do you want to be a part of?
Do you want to co-drive or do you want to?
Well, no, I think Easton should do driving for sure.
Well, you could be the co-driver, being in the passenger seat, like navigating.
Navigator, yeah, but you get beat up pretty.
And that's
bad.
what I was saying. Is I don't think you'd want to even in a trophy truck, it's pretty abusive, and that's the smoothest ride out there.
It's like putting yourself in a blender for like 15 hours.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any been in a car? I know you spent a lot of time in Mexico.
Yeah, I've been in several race cars, but never raced.
Mm-hmm.
And always the funnest thing for me was contingency. And that was to see all the new things that, like when I first started watching, like 18 inches, 20 inches of travel,
Was a big deal.
Was a big deal. Now they're like 34, 35 inches,
Yeah. Oh, that was
It's
another
hard to fathom.
That was another thing I was going to say when I was looking through the race results. So all-wheel drive trophy trucks only started existing a couple years ago, right?
Yep.
Guess how much faster the all-wheel drive is in 1,000 miles than the two-wheel drive trophy truck?
4 hours.
2 hours, which is insane. That is so much time. That's nutty.
It makes
and
sense.
it's
You're
incredible
pushing
to
a
see
lot
those
less
things.
sand.
I mean,
Yeah.
pushing sand.
Well,
They're
the rear wheel drive
throwing
is pushing
sand.
sand.
Yeah, dude.
The rear wheel drive.
Some of the shots from this race were brutal. There was some of the trophy truck spec class that I saw going through the silt beds. The silt beds are what kills everyone in those. And I mean, we're talking
because
like
it just gets in the intakes.
No, it's just so deep. You can it's a full-blown trophy truck. It's the spec class, but that's not slow, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just is getting buried in the silt. Like it had to back up and try again to get through this silt bed. It's so deep. It's insane.
It's like flour.
Yeah, it's like trying to drive through 2 feet of flour.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. Well,
Yeah.
Man, now it's my fault, Chris.
It is your fault.
I know. I don't even know what's going on. Oh, shoot.
Is it important?
Bang.
No, I just airplane mode.
Oh, okay.
I thought I hit that before the pod, but I guess not.
My secret is I've just never had the ringer on my phone since I bought it. It's just off permanently. Anyway.
I have shipments coming from China. I gotta.
Well, you still feel when it vibrates. That's why you have it in your pocket. It's on vibrate forever.
I don't know. I'm kind of weird. I just
You don't say.
I just forget my phone exists until
Yes, we know.
until 8 p.m. and I'm like, well, now it's too late to respond anyways.
Edwin, the other day you sent me a Snapchat and you were just kind of messing around with your bikes or something. I don't remember the context. And I was like, oh, I went to call you and it was immediately to the answering machine because your phone was on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That's another thing I do. Put it on Do Not Disturb before I go to bed, and then I just forget for days.
Yep.
And then no one can call me, and then I get a text.
But you text us.
Yeah.
And then we respond, and you don't get it because you just leave it on Do Not Disturb. You'll text us at 10 o'clock in the morning or something, and then I'll call you 2 minutes later, and it's just straight to voicemail. I'm like, dude, you just texted me.
Yeah. If you guys think I cause chaos in the videos, you should see me in real life.
Yeah. We've seen it.
Yeah.
We all know it.
But
Yeah,
we. It doesn't have to be Baja, but we got to do some more racing. That's what I concluded. And my wife is 100% supportive, which is bizarre and surprising.
She was rooting for it. I saw her.
Oh yeah, she
posting
watched
about you on
she
Instagram.
watched the live stream.
and-
Yeah, no, she loves watching me race, which is awesome. Because she could just as easily be like, "Please don't die. That's dangerous." And I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, she doesn't want me to die, but she knows that there's a lot of
Yeah.
safety gear involved and that I don't want to die either. So
Yeah.
she supports my racing career.
Well, I have been looking into how to live stream while we go places and do things.
Well, we also know somebody who knows that.
Exactly.
Christopher
But-
Pavardi live streams the whole race. So
Yeah, and I know how he does it, and
Yep.
I need to do a public service announcement. That's what it's called, right?
yep,
PSA.
yep.
I have one actually.
You have one what?
So
A
PSA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, straight up,
Yeah,
like a
all right.
real
What's your
one.
PSA?
I need to save the people from getting scammed.
Oh,
So we have Starlink. That's how we have internet here,
yes.
and that's how we buy our parts and upload Instagrams and what
Yep.
have you. And so they have our email.
Mhm.
And I check the email because they always change the prices of things, and I try to get my head around it. So Starlink sent us an email for a free Starlink Mini, which is the portable ones that you need a bunch of to live stream while you're racing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, free? If it's free, it's me, let's go. So M reads the fine print, and at the bottom, you get it for free for 2 months, and then you pay for it. The whole email is like free Starlink Mini. Just click this and we'll send it to you. You end up just paying
That's
for
not
it.
free.
I know. How is it legal
That is
though?
so
How is
dumb.
everyone getting
I
away
don't
with this
know.
stuff? Like I feel like more things are a scam than not right now, even from big companies that you used
That's
to trust.
insane. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really dumb. Yeah. That's wow.
Yeah. So, because I was like, oh yeah, like you need like probably like 5 to if you're in the middle of nowhere. But like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, 1 for free. That starts,
Yeah.
getting us started, and maybe we could live stream around the track. I was on if you are on YouTube live, a lot of them are vertical now,
Mm-hmm.
and you can scroll through live streams and see what people are doing. There was this guy that was like riding his dirt bike around a track.
Yeah.
I was like, that's sick, especially if you had like a mic
Audio. Yeah.
and you could like hear what people are commenting and then like,
into the
interact
mic,
with
yeah.
people while you're riding. And you have like the Starlink set up on your backpack or whatever. Like that would be very sick. It took about watching it for like 30 seconds to realize it was fake. Someone was
Oh.
just streaming a GoPro clip of them riding the dirt bike, but after it was already done.
Well, that's
Is
less interesting.
super less interesting. Because
Yeah.
if it's live, you could see someone fall. You could give feedback like, hey, hit the double, whatever.
Yeah. Right.
And like, I'm super into that because like, I think that live streaming is going to be like the next wave because it's more AI proof than
Yep.
like
Everything else.
everything else, basically. But
and
like,
it's not just AI proof, but you just can't fake it in any way. Because like no matter what level you're doing YouTube at, like there's times when you have to refilm a clip,
Yeah.
or you have to film an ad, or you're doing things that you wouldn't that are not happening in real time, and they're not the first time it's happened. You're like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
we missed that. We need to say it again, or we need to say this thing. And like I don't think anybody really hates on that specifically, but the point is like you can go way up on that to faking things and just do things that just aren't real at all,
Mhm.
and you just set it all up and pretend it's real.
yeah.
But live streaming, you can't really do that in the same way.
Yeah. Well, the FaZe clan, the guys that used to do like the 360 spinny shots in Call of Duty and no scopes and stuff and make like viral edits.
No, but we'll assume that we do know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Carry on.
So this
I know
is
what you're
called-
talking about,
Yeah, this
Edwin.
is called the FaZe clan. And so the guy who started it all basically got like super scammed by this business partner and like had to restart from scratch. He restarted from scratch and it's going really well with the new FaZe guys that he recruited that were already like streamers, some bigger than others, but he's like, let's all get into one like crazy big house in California and make like the sickest streams.
Right.
Not necessarily video games related, but a lot of streaming is part of that.
Right.
So they did like a house-wide subathon, which is every time you get a sub, you keep streaming with a cap of 30 days. So multiple kids in the same house streaming 24/7, literally filming themselves sleep for 30 days straight.
That is hardcore.
Super hardcore. And I listened to an interview they recorded before they went to sleep after doing this. And they were just talking about like, how do you do streaming? Like how is that even possible? You
Right.
know? And they were like, you need to start just being yourself and being who you are. Because you're not going to stream every day, all day. You're going to slip up if you're pretending to be something you're not.
Yep.
And that's why it's so cool and so interesting to me. I'm like, this is like, and it's utilizing a technology that isn't like utilized all the time. It's like, like if a new rocket's going off, it's live streamed. If
it's pretty new.
You know,
basically.
a president's giving a speech. You know, that's like the traditional sense. Like the Olympics, you're watching like live, and it's so much more exciting watching it live, like live sporting events. But for random idiots like us being like, we're going to live stream a whole road trip where we drive MTVs across the country. Could you imagine if we were just live streaming that the entire time?
That would
How
have been insane.
crazy that would be.
Yeah.
But it would also be so much fun.
Yeah, it would. You know who's getting really into live streaming? Street Bike Tommy.
Really?
He has a backpack live streaming kit. And he was like, dude,
heck yeah.
he was, if we did that road trip idea, he was going to just live stream the whole thing. Or as much as we had service for. But yeah, he's gotten super into live streaming.
Nice. Man,
maybe he can help us out too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just getting into it, and he doesn't like. He's not into the whole technical side of it. Like he's learning that as he goes. So he's not. He's only like 2 steps ahead of where we're at.
Those backpacks are so sick. It's basically like a multi-input router. So you have your wireless hotspot from your phone. You have a SIM card router like you'd have in a portable hotspot, and then you have the local Wi-Fi connected to it. It can do like 4 or 5 connections, and then it divides the file size between all the connections.
Whoa.
So that you can like live stream like one of the biggest guys who does it. He goes all over the world, and he's just like live streaming in the middle of nowhere in like Africa or whatever.
Whoa.
And you can just watch what's going on in the middle of
That's
Africa
crazy.
live. It's so sick. But like those backpacks like have basically all the technology you need to do in it, but obviously they perform best if you just are in a city with 5G.
Right, because
like
if you're way out in the
all
mountains, there's just nothing there. They're
and
not.
Basically no one does it.
Right.
Like you're either not moving very much because you need to stay within your Starlink Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
or you're in a big city. It's
Right,
like all the
right.
big, they call it IRL streams, and they're all in a big city.
Yeah.
Because
Where
like,
else
there's
you
this
gonna have
guy who
enough-
just
yeah.
makes music in New York, and like people run up and like grab the mic, and he'll like make them a beat and they'll rap.
Right.
Or if they do pop, they're like, hey, could you do like a Katy Perry type song? And he'll make a pop song real quick on
Right.
the live stream, and then they'll sing. And you can do that in New York, where like he has like one of those backpacks, you know, and like
Right.
you have 5G, Starlink, you know, multiple 5G routers, and like you get it done.
Mhm.
But like for us here, it's hard to accept a phone call, even with our boosted signal
Yep.
and our Starlink. Like
literally,
and these are the kind of places we'd be wanting to stream.
right. If you're standing on the patio under the addition of the house, you don't have anything. You don't have cell service and you don't have Wi-Fi because you're
Exactly.
just that far away from the booster and the router.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Like you just
Yeah.
and you have a perfectly clear view of the sky to the south. It just isn't enough.
And Christopher has all of his Starlink stuff on a helicopter.
Yes.
So
And
he's
Andy
above.
has a unit on his car too.
Yeah.
I don't really know the extent of it, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's also something that we don't have
No,
access
not
or
at all.
budget to.
No.
But I know that there's a way, and I know that I'm going to figure it out. I just need some time to just sit down and figure it out. But
Yep.
my main thing is trying to figure out the permanent podcast studio.
Well, that's a much easier problem to solve.
Exactly.
Fortunately.
Yeah.
Um,
And live streaming from that garage, if we wanted to do the podcast live, or if we were like, I don't know.
There's not a whole lot of other things we
Yeah.
can do from that garage, but yeah.
Yeah.
But having that option is cool.
Yeah, we could do the podcast live one day. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
It'd be fun.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like you mentioned it earlier, but I think we should also potentially get a Legends car and do that because I think they probably do that at our local at State Line Speedway
Mm-hmm.
because it's just a circle track car and those are extremely affordable. Like
And they look so
they
sick.
look so cool. Exactly. Like those are like you can get a half decent one for under 10 grand. Like
And I'm pretty
all day
sure they
long.
can do wheelies. Right, Chris?
No.
no, they're front engine.
Nope.
The front engine, rear wheel
You're on-
drive. Like
You're on wheelie restriction anyway.
I don't
Edwin.
think you know what can do wheelies is sprint cars, but that's because those things have like 900 horsepower and weigh about 1,500 pounds.
Yeah, and they're only 4 feet long.
Yeah. And I mean, granted, the Legends cars are pretty short too, but they're also very low to the ground, and they only have a street bike engine in them. And it's limited. You can't modify them. They're a sealed engine, meaning that if you open up your cases or take the head off your engine, you're disqualified. Like you cannot use that engine because they all have to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
And now they do allow FZ09 engines. They used to just be a 1200cc air-cooled Yamaha engine, but the new class rules allow for an FZ09 so that we can, bring them into this century of technology because they were just really old engines still.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, kind of roundabout. But the other thing I've learned, and I mean, I kind of had this thought. Well, I learned it the first time I did it at the Freedom 500, and then I had this thought a lot at NASCAR when we were watching, but I definitely thought about it more this time, is that circle track racing is really not that exciting to watch, but man, is it fun to drive.
That's what I
Because
was thinking when we were at
it's
NASCAR.
so much fun to do. One, you're bumper to bumper, head to head. I mean, NASCAR is way, 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 way faster. I mean, triple the speed. So that one, you have a little bit of distance between you and the next car most of the time, a few feet. But on that track, I mean, there was a lot of times where I was 4 inches from the car in front of me for multiple laps, basically straight. And just nothing compares to that experience. And then also just having it be so many laps of the same track, it sounds like it might be boring, but it just the amount of trying to perfect your lap that you get out of that is really, really fun. But so yeah, I think Legends cars would be a great way to do it, but also desert racing, because that's what I'm more personally passionate about.
Off-road.
Off-road.
Off-road. Being off-road, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to look into because King of the Hammers would be cool, but the full race course, if we did it in a cheap side-by-side, even if it's race prepped, the odds of not just being broken are basically zero. We're not going to finish the race, basically. But they have a short course race there and a desert challenge that's more of a Baja-style desert race that's 100 miles. And so I'm going to look into what those classes are, because if we could actually just enter one of those classes just to go there and do it, that would be really cool. Especially if we could do it with a vehicle we want to buy for a project anyway. But, yeah, we need to find some more sponsors is the bottom line.
Yeah.
For racing.
Yeah. Speaking of which, guys should get entered to win the giveaway, because it's a V8 supercharged Ford Raptor.
It is, with some really nice new wheels and tires on it, and that thing rips.
And it sounds like just music to the soul.
Yes. Yes.
So
it is
you can get entered at grindhardplumbingco.com, and every $1 you spend on merch gets you an entry to win. And if you're in the premium members club, you also get access to the podcast ad-free. If you're tired of being interrupted by, I don't even know how many ads Spotify puts in our podcast, but I'm sure it's a lot. So if you go on premium members club, then you get entered to win the next giveaway and ad-free podcast.
Ad-free podcast and whatever other exclusive content we put on there, which is variable, but there's always something. And also, if you win the Raptor giveaway, you'll have the option to come hang out with us and pick it up in person. So that's, you can, I don't know if that's of any value to you. That's for you to decide, but it's an option.
And we have new pit bikes.
We do.
Yeah.
Yes.
To add to the merch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You could buy a sweet Electro & Co. RTR that's custom grind hard colors you can only get from us. You can't get it anywhere
Chopper
else.
Green.
Monster Chopper Green.
Yep.
This
and-
shirt with the... Oh, am I wearing the one with Chris's saying on it?
Yep.
I can't see
You
the
are.
back of it.
But it says go outside and learn stuff. Yeah, you could buy that shirt. You could buy a pit bike. They're all cool stuff. The pit bike's really cool. That thing rips.
Yeah.
It's
8,000 watts.
in a bike that is the size of a child's bike, but it is not a child's amount of horsepower.
Actually, it's
Yeah.
about my size of bike.
It is. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's so much fun. You can have fun on it. Kid can have fun on it. It's the
Yep.
perfect bike.
Anyway, yeah, go buy a bunch of those bikes so that we can go racing.
Yeah.
please. I need my racing fix.
Hey, it's a lot better than the rocket, the money tree loans.
Yeah, no, this is just we make a small profit on selling electric dirt bikes, and if we sell enough of them, we might be able to more plausibly afford racing.
Yeah, when you buy a loan from a loan shark, you're just getting debt. When you buy a T-shirt from us, you're getting a T-shirt
and a chance to win something. But
Exactly.
at the worst case, you get a T-shirt.
Yeah.
But don't go into debt to buy a pit bike, please.
We actually don't offer buy now, pay later on our website.
You could take out a personal loan, like that's
not financial advice.
Don't do that. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying that is a thing that people do to buy toys, and I don't recommend it.
Could you imagine the dangerous path you could take after listening to this podcast if you weren't aware of Money Tree and you weren't aware of the giveaway and you put those two together?
That could be bad.
It's like, well, I need an ARC droid and a pit bike and 10 T-shirts anyways. It's like, no, don't do that. We're just trying to race, man.
Yep, we're just trying to race.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was a pretty solid podcast.
Yep. Thanks for listening, guys. Sit and Bend Podcast is available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yep, sure is.
What do you think, Chris?
I think it's great. Perfect.